I'm Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. This is a free astrotheology course. Our course textbook is The Devil's Pulpit, and the author is the Reverend Robert Taylor. The link is in the description area of this video, so y'all download it, okay? And let's get right into it. We're on the lecture on St. Phillip, page 314. So no review today. No review this class. So we're going to pick up again page 314. Our holy evangelist, St. Phillip, has been in turn both king and beggar. Has been king and beggar, both friend and foe, both saint and sinner, both persecuted and persecutor. You may gaze at him as the huntsman. You may stag him for a chase. Now, if I remember correctly, a stag can also be a deer. A deer. There's a verse. I covered this in the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course, my streaming course online. 101 Ancient Ibaryath. If y'all interested in finding out more about this, or if you want to learn the fundamentals, the basics of Ancient Ibaryath, subscribe to that course. The link is in the description area of the video. But this stag is translated two totally different ways. I think one is a deer, the other is a tree. Something about the tree being twisted. I don't remember exactly. But y'all go check that out. So when I see stag here, a lot of things are coming to my mind. But y'all go check it out for yourself, because it may be more to it. You may gaze at him as a huntsman, right? He's the man on the horse hunting. You may stag him for a chase. So he's playing on words. Stag him for a chase, right? You chase the animal. But a stag is also a deer. A stag can also be, I forget the kind of tree, but I think maybe it was a twisted oak. But when you get into twisted trees, that's a whole other subject in itself. That can be talking about something completely different. Y'all go find out about that in the 101 Ancient Ibaryath course. It'll show you the original language, and the etymological meanings and the history associated with that, so you can get background on what's being said here. Okay? He has been Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the horse and his rider. Remember when Pharaoh and his army were chasing the quote-unquote children of Israel? Moses led the children of Israel, the sea parted and all of that. Right? The horse and his rider, Sagittarius. Okay? So he has been Pharaoh, king of Egypt, the horse and his rider, thrown into the sea. That is a purely astrological scene. Astrological meaning astronomical. Not religion or not spooky stuff. It's talking about the position of the heavenly bodies at a specific time. Okay? And Miriam's song, we covered that topic earlier in the Devil's Pulpit. We also covered it in the Gospel and the Zodiac. So it's purely astronomical. So this is again black coffee. It's a Vietnamese coffee bean, black coffee with honey. I don't have my palm sap today. But let's keep it moving, y'all. So keep this in mind. Remember, these texts have not just one meaning. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, probably 5, 6, and 7 different meanings. Okay? Depending on your degree. So, of course, the masses of people, they have no degree. So you get the holier than thou, goody two-shoes, turn the other cheek, be defenseless, give up your birthright, be somebody else's bondman and bondwoman without you knowing it. That's what the masses get, okay? You get, in other words, you get dogma, you get religion, okay? All right, let's keep it going. And here you see him come out of the pit. He comes out of the pit at the very moment when he has sent Mrs. Potiphar, the Scarlet Lady, about her business. And having reached the meridian, that's the celestial meridian, he is Lord of all Egypt, presiding over the corn. The star Spica Virginis setting at that moment at the point due west by south. When the brightest star in Sagittarius is Lord of the ascendant. When the brightest star in Sagittarius is Lord of the ascendant. Okay, scholars? And you will remember that Joseph, among the 12 patriarchs, was not more famous for delivering divine prophecies than Sagittarius. Among the 12 signs is for shooting with the long bow. I have to read that again. And you will remember that Joseph, among the 12 patriots, was not more famous for delivering divine prophecies. Okay, that's true. He was famous for that. In fact, his brothers hated him for it, right? And everything that happened was because of that. Okay? So he was not more famous for delivering divine prophecies than Sagittarius. Then Sagittarius was famous amongst the 12 zodiac signs for shooting with the long bow, okay? So in other words, Sagittarius has that bow, okay? So he's famous for having a bow. He's the only one of the 12 zodiac signs that has that bow, all right? But it is only by a laborious effort of painful stupidity. Now, I have to agree with that. I don't know if y'all see what I'm talking about. Let me say it again. But it is only by a laborious effort, labor, work, energy, of painful stupidity. I can't think of too many things, maybe other than a toothache, that's more painful, that takes more energy out of you, that sets you back in life more than stupidity. And I'm not talking about stupid in terms of reading a book. I'm talking about stupidity, intentional and unintentional stupidity. For example, you're not aware of some things. You're stupid about it, right? You're not aware. You're not even conscious of it. It may be somebody in your house, in your tent. In my case, it was my father, who is really your enemy. Why enemy? Why enemy? Because of the things that they're doing to destroy you behind your back. Right? Now, now it's not just me. Y'all don't say, how can you talk about that like your father and all of that, about your father and all of that BS. We, as a people, have been mentally destroyed. And if you disagree with it, and you call yourself a Christian or a Hebrew Israelite, well, you're going against what the text says. The book of the law says that you would be what? Punished until you are completely destroyed. And then it talks about the types of abuse that mothers and fathers would do to each other and to their heirs. So you can deny it if you want to, but if you call yourself a Christian, any denomination, a Hebrew Israelite, any denomination, or a Muslim, any sect or denomination, and you say that what I'm saying is not right, well, one, you don't know that Bible. You don't know the book of the law. And two, you're not aware of what's happening. Yeah, it's a hard thing to acknowledge and accept. But quite often, because our people's psyche has been destroyed, they go about destroying others, consciously and unconsciously, intentionally, sometimes unintentionally. But it happens. So when you don't know who your enemies are, you're stupid about it, right? And you fall for the okie doke, right? You fall for it. Could be now. Okay, let's say it's not your father, it's not your mother, but often it is. I'll tell you what's popular right now. People love talking about it. Narcissism. You get a narcissist mother or a narcissist father, that person will completely destroy the entire house, will destroy all of their heirs. They'll have all of their heirs pitted against each other. If y'all ever see a household, and the heirs, they don't get along, or they backbite, they backstab, I can almost guarantee you that the mama or the daddy or both is high on the narcissistic spectrum. Very high on the narcissistic spectrum. And they're manipulating their own heirs. Manipulate them. Their own, everybody in the entire clan, they're manipulating. Pitting people against each other. Why? To bring attention and to keep themselves in the center of attention. Right? And they have these snapshot photos of who they decide that you are. And no matter what you do, no matter what you say, they're going to force you to be whatever that snapshot photo is. And when you're not, they go on the attack. And it's not a direct attack. Sometimes it might be direct, but mostly they're being the puppet master. Okay? Or it could be somebody close to you. For example, the narcissist could be your best friend, your co-worker. It could be anybody smiling in your face, collecting information about you, trying to learn your personality, charming you, charming others, collecting information so that they can use it against you. And you don't know. You're unsuspecting because you don't know anything about narcissism. You don't know anything about a sociopath. So you're stupid about that. And that, my friend, these kind of people, smile in your face, pretend to everybody that y'all are so close, how much they love you, like you, how close y'all are. And then they're lying on you, doing things to intentionally destroy your reputation, to bring you down, but to make everybody think that they're the hero. But you're stupid about it. You will have to do more work, invest more energy, and suffer more than what you can imagine. And oftentimes, many people don't recover from the damage that these type of people do to you. Why? Because you were stupid, you were unaware. So again, I'm not using stupid like in a book, you can't read. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about stupid as in unaware. You didn't know what was happening. You didn't know the signs. You didn't know that, for example, using a narcissist, you didn't know what behaviors, what thought patterns are narcissistic. You didn't know the danger that you were in. And now you got to pay for it. Okay? There's nothing more expensive than being stupid. There's nothing more expensive and more painful than being unaware of your environment and the people who you are dealing with. But y'all keep in mind, usually it's a parent. If it's a parent, you might have brothers and sisters who are also narcissists. Right? And all of the trouble and drama that goes along with that, I wouldn't wish that on anybody. Because when you reach the point when you start to see people for who they are, if you're not strong enough to walk away from that relationship, not try to get revenge, not try to hold on to it, because the more you hold on to that relationship, the more you will lose and suffer, and the more likely it is that you won't survive it. I'm talking about physically surviving. Okay, when you hear about these people's personality, they want to see you destroyed, not just economically, not just your health, but quite often, they want to see you 6 feet under. And they're going to figure out a way to do it without getting caught. Unless they lose it, right? And then they exterminate you. You know what I mean? And then they get locked up for that because they lost it. But anyway, let's get back on the topic. And here you see, wait. Where am I? Hold on. But it is only by laborious effort of painful stupidity that we can fail of identifying Joseph of the Patriarchate, the Phillip of the Apostolate, and the Sagittarius of the Zodiac. What this is saying is that Joseph and Phillip are Sagittarius of the Zodiac. And the only way you could not recognize that is if you put a lot of effort into being stupid. So that you would intentionally not recognize it. This is what the author is saying from my point of view. But it is only by a laborious effort of painful stupidity that we can fail of identifying Joseph of the Patriarchate, the Phillip of the Apostolate, and the Sagittarius of the Zodiac, while Phillip is the only one of the apostles that had a daughter that was a virgin. That Joseph was the only one of the patriarchs that had a daughter that was a virgin once. With this most singular characteristic, that she was a virgin that ran over the wall. Let me repeat it. With this most singular characteristic, that Joseph's daughter, that Philip's daughter, was a virgin that ran over the wall. Well, what wall did she run over? What does it mean? She ran over a wall. Genesis, I don't remember this Roman numeral, y'all. What is this? Is this 6? Is it? I don't remember. Let me show it. I don't remember this Roman numeral. Let me show it. Here's the chapter. What chapter is that? That look like I'm flipping you off. Hold on. This one. What chapter is that, y'all? I don't remember that what this Roman numeral is. So let me show it on camera. So this is page 314. Let me make a note. I got to check that. I think the L, I think XL is 60, but I don't remember. I don't remember. Okay, so Genesis XL IX, verse 22. Now there's a paragraph, a footnote. It says the Latin Vulgate has it or renders it feli discongruent super murum. That's Latin. So here's how that verse reads. No. That's. And I'm. Hold on. So Genesis X, L, I, X, verse 22. And here is Miss Phillips, the virgin, tumbling over the wall, heels upwards, and her father running after her as if endeavoring to keep her a virgin. Heels upward, y'all. Heels upward. If the heels are up, her head is down. So where's her dress and what's showing? Her heels are up. Does she have on pants or a dress? If her feet are up in the air, her dress has to be down. So what's exposed to public view? Do y'all see it? Her genitalia is exposed, right? And her father running after her, as if endeavoring to keep her a virgin. Yeah, some guy might look at that, you know, and then he want to go over there and get busy. He want to knock boots. But how he succeeds in that endeavor, you may guess, when you shall observe that the moment that he gets over the wall, the moment her father gets over the wall, if you look over other side, you will see that Miss Phillip is brought to bed of twins. I don't get that. Let's go. Let me read this comment first. Hold on. Darrell-El writes, apostle suffix is STLE, is still, and apostate suffix is STA, is still. Okay, it means still. Is that right, Darrell-El? They both share apo prefix meaning away or from. So is it away or from still? Away still? Ah, okay. Okay, thank you, Darrell-El. Darrell-El, what do you make out about his daughter? Let me read this. If you don't mind, share your viewpoint with us on this. When Philip is the only one of the apostles that had a daughter that was a virgin. Now, scholars, of course, this is not talking about a sexual virgin if you're dealing with the Old Testament. It's not a sexual virgin. That Joseph was the only one of the patriarchs that had a daughter that was a virgin once. What does that mean? That was a virgin once. A maiden, yes. And if I remember correctly, I haven't looked at this in a while. Well, never mind. Let's continue. With this most singular characteristic, this is it, Darrell-El, with this most singular characteristic that she was a virgin that ran over the wall. And we have the verse here in Genesis XLIX.22. And here is Miss Phillips, the virgin, tumbling over the wall, heels upward. Can you imagine that, man? She's tumbling over the wall. So, tumbling over the wall, heels upward. Okay, so let's go back to heels. Darrell-El, what you got anything on that? You have any commentary on that? Darrell-El writes, she was trying to escape her father. Is that a question for me, or is that a rhetorical question? Because I'm only asking for your viewpoint. But if you want me to answer that, I will. Page 230, y'all. Page 230. So if y'all have your books or PDF. See, this is why you should print. Let me show you, scholars. This is why you should print your books, so you can put your margin notes, right? Put your margin notes, and then when you want to go check something, you have some notes you can find it faster in the text. The way I just found heels very quickly, right? So now let's check this out. Page 230. The lecture is the cup of salvation. All right. So let's just start with the beginning of the paragraph. This is the second paragraph. Oh, yes, a question for me. She was trying to escape her father. I'm not sure. I'm not sure. Page 230, second paragraph from the bottom. Those relative positions are the same to this day. In the administration of the Christian sacrament, as they were through anterior ages of pagan superstitions. In the administration of, so he's talking about the sacraments on the table. Y'all remember that? They would put the ivy over the window to block out the sun. Okay, and they'd have the sacraments on the table. This is what he's talking about. This was before there was stained glass. Okay, it continues. As they were through anterior ages of pagan superstition and the administration of bread and wine to the honor of Ceres, C-E-R-E-S, the deity Ceres, and Bacchus, sun deities, right? All solar deities. In the Eleusinian mysteries, and both orgies, y'all see that? And both orgies bore the name. So, Ceres orgies and Bacchus orgies. Orgies for the deity Ceres and orgies for the deity Bacchus. Sexual orgies. And both orgies bore the name, which the Christian orgy to this day retains, quote unquote, those holy mysteries. The word holy, H-O-L-Y, is but a mock, solemn utterance of the ancient Phoenician word heli, spelled H-E-L-Y. Y'all got that? So holy is derived from the ancient Phoenician word heli, H-E-L-Y. Wait a minute. H-E-L spells hell. H-E-L-Y. Heli. Y'all see it? Do you see it? The Christians took the word, the ancient Phoenician word heli, H-E-L-Y, and remixed it into holy, H-O-L-Y. In other words, they replaced the E with an O and gave it a whole different meaning in your eyes. Y'all see the mind game? Do you see Jeremiah 8 verse 8? They wrote lies in the book of the law with this pen. H-E-L-Y remixed H-O-L-Y, and then changed the meaning of the word and didn't tell you nothing. So this is also fraud. So now let's continue. From whence was formed the Greek word Helios, O hyphen, capital H-E-L-I-O-S. Now y'all see the Greek termination O-S. So the actual word is H-E-L-I. The I and the Y are interchangeable. See Heli, 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 H-E-L-Y, H-E-L-I. Same sound, right? What do they mean? Sun, S-U-N, sun. Heli, the original ancient Phoenician, ancient Ibaryath, ancient Phoenician, ancient Ibaryath word is Heli, H-E-L-Y. It was remixed into Greek, spelled O-H-E-L-I-O-S. And from there, it was remixed into English as H-O-L-Y. In English, they completely changed the meaning of holy. But the ancient Phoenician meaning, Heli, and the Greek word, Ohelios, means the S-U-N, sun. Now, if your preacher, if your Hebrew Israelite general or captain told you that holy means the S-U-N, sun, that bright orb, that bright disk in the sky, that transitions day to night and night to day. If they told you Christ, Jesus is holy, that means Jesus is the S-U-N, sun. That means Jesus is the solar deity. If they told you that Yahweh, Jehovah, Yahuwah, Yahu, however, Ahaya, whatever name you want to say, is holy, 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 what they would have told you is that Yahu, Yahuwah, Ahaya, Jehovah, Yahweh, however you want to say it, is the S-U-N, sun, that bright, shining orb in the sky. The transitions night to day and day to night. And you'd have no Christian religion. You'd have no Hebrew Israelite religion. You'd have no religion at all. So you have been lied to, which is fraud. And fraud voids all contracts. It's void from the beginning, no matter how solemn, no matter how holy. Don't matter, don't give a damn. It's void. Any claim authority derived from that contract, well, it has no authority. So you have nothing to be afraid of. You can walk away from it. But it takes courage. Yes, will you lose friends? Well, I'm going to say no, because if someone doesn't want to talk to you because of that, they were not your friend anyway. The relationship was not solid anyway. You probably did, you would be doing yourself a favor by getting them out of your life anyway. Right? You probably short circuit somebody who would have screwed you over as soon as they had a strong enough motive and an opportunity. Now let's keep going. And from whence our whole family of English words, our whole family of English words bequeath to us by our Phoenician ancestors. By our Phoenician ancestors. See, some people don't like it when I say ancient Phoenician Hebrew. We all know that Hebrew is, let's call it a knockoff, right? Some people don't like that. But the script is ancient Phoenician, period. Okay, ancient Ibaryath, ancient Phoenician is the same. In fact, these languages are just different dialects of the same language. Darrell-El writes, Hill could be a form of hell. If you're looking at hell as being the sun, you're correct. See, they flipped the script on hell in terms of its astronomical significancy, what it means. Okay? Fire, right? Well, don't they also say that the sun is a fire? See, they scare us away from the sun sun. Not that we should worship the sun sun. That would be stupid, right? To worship the sun, that doesn't make sense. But it is the function, the role of the sun in all things that are manifest on the material or earth plane. The role that the sun plays. So you got to live in harmony with the sun, because the sun controls the seasons. The sun controls the weather. Let the sun not come out for 3 months. Let it stay dark for 3 months. See if you survive. See if everything is not frozen. So the sun, in fact, is our risen Savior. It is our risen Savior. In fact, not in religion, in fact. And there's no argument against that. Let's keep going. And from whence our whole family of English words bequeathed to us by our Phoenician ancestors as health, Heal, 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 health, and healing, Healing, and eel, E-E-L, like the fish that produces, like it looks like a snake, it makes electricity. What do we call it? The electric eel? Eel, E-E-L, the fish, and hell, H-E-L-L, heal, H-I-L-L, whole, H-O-L-E, and whole, H-U-L-L. So what are we seeing here? That the vowels are interchangeable. Doesn't matter how you pronounce it, doesn't matter which vowel. Okay? You just throw a vowel, what do they say? Slap a vowel in there. Take one out and slap another one in. And the heel, H-E-E-L, of the human body. So y'all look at the foot, right? The back of the foot is the heel of the foot. And the heel, H-E-E-L, of the human body, connected, as every shoemaker can tell you, with the heel, H-E-E-L, is with the soul, S-O-L-E, the soul of the foot. Now, remove the E. Remove the E from soul. You get SOL. You get Latin SOL. The word soul in Latin is the SU in sun. So the sole of the foot, SOLE. Remove the E. You got the Latin word soul, which means the SUN, sun, the disk, the orb in the sky. The author continues. The human family is to be distinguished from the family of the orangutan lady and gentleman. Did y'all catch that? Darrell, you remember that email you sent me? The human family. Let's take the hue off of the man. The man family is to be distinguished from the family of orangutan lady and gentleman. Who the hell is he talking about? Who have lately come to their cousins, the dandies in Piccadilly, by the facility of having a heel, H-E-E-L. And so, I suppose, a soul, S-O-U-L, to their heels, H-E-E-L-S. Heel, H-E-E-L, being the Greek, and soul, soul, S-O-U-L, or soul, S-O-L. The Latin for the S-U-N, sun, the orb, the disk in the sky. What did he just tell you? What's your opinion, scholars? The man family, Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. Those who are thought made manifest from the soil. Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. Is to be distinguished from the family of the orangutan lady and gentleman. Well, in my opinion, that's the Genesis chapter 1 created creature, who the Elohim created in a laboratory. This, in my opinion, is the hybrid troglodyte nigger. The Han Uman, the half man, half chimpanzee, genetically engineered creature, made from the egg of a Moabite woman and the sperm of that chimpanzee, that the black one, that has the black hair, the most aggressive of the two. Darrell-El writes, Harlem Night Lady heroine was named Sunshine. Wow, sure was. I forgot about that. Sure was. And Darrell, you remember what that process was like, right? In the email that you sent me, there were two. There were two. Was it two embryo? One. Was it an embryo from a chimpanzee and from Moors? the man was feminine, and then the male, or the chimpanzee, was male, and they fused them. Ah, yes, the chimera. That's right, the chimera. Now, do I know for sure? No, I wasn't there. But it sure does sound like it could have happened that way. And it came out an hermaphrodite, which is consistent with Genesis chapter 1 when you understand the grammar. And when you understand how they created new grammar rules. And when you understand that Genesis chapter 1 is not a creation story at all in terms of what you think. It's not the creation of the universe. No. Y'all watch the video that I did, a critical analysis of Genesis chapter 1 and 2. The first 2 hours, you'll hear two Hebrew Israelites giving the traditional Hebrew Israelite spiel, which they learned from Christians and Jewish rabbis and commentators. They just read it and they started echoing it. So I come in at about 2 hours and 4 minutes into the video, and I give the etymological meaning of Genesis chapter 1 and chapter 2. And I show you everything. But I have to warn you, some people have said that there's too much yelling there. I don't know if y'all know Apostle, but Apostle has apologized. Apostle, if you're listening to this, don't take this a wrong way, man. It was very honorable. Apostle said that he feels bad about the way he conducted himself. But to me, it was okay. But some people I'm just letting y'all know that if it's uncomfortable for you, the gentleman has apologized for that. And just try to make your way through it, okay? Don't let that discourage you, okay? Make your way through it, or just skip it. If it gets too much, just skip it to 2 hours and 4 minutes into the video. Apostle, I hope you don't mind me saying anything about it if you're watching this video, but people have contacted me about that. Let me see. Darrell-El writes, androgynous, hermaphrodite, and chimera are all the same for homosexual. Wow. Thank you, Darrell. Let me see. Let me go back over some of these comments real quick. Darrell-El writes, religion mythologizes natural processes. Soul, S-O-L-E, is the S-U-N. Absolutely. Whole, H-O-L-E, backwards is Elo. Wow. All right. Now that I didn't put that together, Darrell. Appreciate that. Let's see. Darrell continues. He says, heel, H-E-E-L, could be a form of hell. Absolutely. He continues, valuable, the Vesica, Pisces. That's quite a phenomenon, isn't it, Darrell? I ought to go back over that. That's worth going back over. Darrell continues to write, it sounds like she was trying to escape the strictness of her father going over the wall. A wall's purpose is to keep valuables in and others out. Absolutely. Okay. So y'all, we got a troll in the comment section. Please don't reply to the troll. Don't say anything. Hopefully he get tired and stop. All right, y'all. So page 231 continues. As everything depends upon having a right understanding, so the psalmist prays to God, or even to Apollo, to Zeus, Isis, right, y'all? to forgive him the inequity of his heels. Heels. Clearly astrological. Clearly astrological. Why? Because how can your heels, which is the back of your foot, have some inequity or injustice in them? And Christ complains of Judas, quote unquote, he that eateth bread with me hath lifted up his heel, Heel, against me, end quote. And hence, your church and chapel arrangements of the paraphernalia in these heli, H-E-L-Y, in these heli mysteries, or mysteries of the S-U-N, Son. What are we talking about in these mysteries of the Son? In these mystery religions. In these mystery religions, you always have to go search for something. You are an adult. 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80, 90-year-old man playing hide and go seek, trying to find out what's God's real name, how to pronounce it, trying to find out, always searching for something. Mystery religions. This is what the author is talking about. Yeah, it's a mystery, right? Isn't that what JC said? I speak to them in parables, so that although they have eyes to see, they'll never perceive. And although they have ears to hear, they'll never understand. What does that mean? You're going to be searching. You're going to believe. You're going to be trapped in a paradigm and a lifestyle of belief. Faith. I'm talking about faith in what somebody said. Things that you just accept. You never observed it yourself. You never researched it yourself. You never did any experimentation. You just accepted it. So in that sense, you're stupid. You are a fool. Very literally. A fool, an idiot. And that's why the author talks about religious people as being stupid, idiots, and fools. Because you are believing, putting your salvation, your livelihood, your well-being, your freedom, and your liberty in the hands of someone other than yourself. Worse than that, people who have stolen your birthright and who are oppressing you and using religion to maintain it. Okay, so let's get back to the text. Or mystery, in these heli mysteries or mysteries of the sun. Y'all get it? Religions, solar deities. Y'all get it? Jesus is a solar deity. The Tetragrammaton, Jehovah, Yahweh, all that, solar deities. All of these deities are solar deities. In other words, they are the S-U-N, Son, personified as a man. Okay, so, or mysteries of the sun have been always those of a camera obscura or astronomical orrery. That was back then like a mechanical device that represented the constellations. Exhibiting in shadowy types. So that orrery, that mechanical representation of the universe is a type, a shadowy type, right? In other words, it lacks detail. It's obscure. It doesn't have all the details. Okay? Just like if you look at a blurry picture, it's obscure. Okay? Exhibiting in shadowy types upon that darkened table the actual phenomena of the heavenly bodies. It's just a replica. It doesn't show all the details. Okay, it's just a replica. It's a snapshot even. Doesn't show all of the motions and all of that. As observed by the astronomical priest, as observed by the astronomical astronomers, engineers, professors. Now you remember that astronomer, astrologer, astronomy, astrology, these were equivalent terms in those days. It was just science, people who used the scientific method. They were not worshiping anything. In fact, well, I won't mention it. From their episcopal observatories, which are now called, listen y'all, which are now called the bishops' sees, S-E-E-S, or lookouts. The bishop's sees or lookouts. That sounds like the bench. Well, it reminds me of the bishop's bench. Remember y'all? The bishop's bench? The bishops always being upon the lookout. So now y'all listen. The bishops are always on the lookout. They're scanning, roving, trying to see what's happening. You are in a mystery religion. You're trying to figure out, what is God's name? What does this word mean? What does that word mean? But the bishops are scanning nature and natural phenomena, trying to understand natural phenomena. And you're spending all your time trying to figure out what God's name is. Is there a Trinity? You're totally disconnected from nature. Not knowing that this God who you're searching for is not the creator of the boundless universe. You're searching for Apollo, Hercules, Isis, Odin, Woden, the dog star Sirius. That's who you're searching for. The Elohim, be they Raphaim, Nephilim, be they men and women, Moorish men and women, be they magistrates and magi. That's who you're searching for. But you don't know that. That's the point. See, that's the labor. How did the author put it? Let me go back to that. How did he put it? Let me go back to the words he used, because I really like the way he phrased that. Hold on. So the author said, he says, but it is only by a laborious effort of painful stupidity that we can fail of identifying Joseph of the patriarch. But he goes into failing to understand or identify what the text really means. Yes, that's a lot of energy. It's a lot of pain and suffering that you got to go through, only to figure out that you are on a wild goose chase. All right? After a lifetime of searching these mystery deities. I hope y'all are having a good time. I know I am. I hope you're having as much fun as I am. I really, really do. Okay, so now these bishops, the bishop sees, S-E-E-S, or lookouts. The bishops always being upon the lookout. Yeah, I bet you they're also looking out to make sure they got you. They got you trying to find the answers to these mysteries. Because as long as they got you looking for the answers to these mysteries, they got you. They got your mind. See, as long as you're searching for the answers to the mysteries of the doctrines, they know that they still have control over you and they still have jurisdiction over you. Y'all got that? So in other words, they're checking to see if all the slaves are on the plantation. And you have to be the very earliest rule laid down for the building of a church or a chapel in Hebrews chapter 8 verse 5, quote unquote. See, hath he that thou make all things according to the pattern showed to thee in the mount. And see, sirs, how accurately is that heavenly pattern copied in the arrangements of this heavenly table. In other words, that table in the church where they have the bread and the wine, all the arrangements on the table are arranged to reflect the order of the constellations of the heavens. Okay? And everything reflects the order of the constellation in the heavens. So you'll see the cathedrals, what are now called cathedrals. You'll see that they're all astronomical. Their locations and design are all astronomical. Y'all see it? So anyway, so this word heel, H-E-E-L, we just saw that it is the S-U-N sun. It's the S-U-N sun. Okay? And oh, by the way, the S-O-L, the Latin soul. So S-O-L-E, the sole of the foot. Delete the E, you get the Latin S-O-L, which is the S-U-N. All right? Now, y'all notice, look at what the author says on page 230. I know I'm jumping around, but look at what that last paragraph. The human family. Let's get rid of the hue. The family of men. Or let's just say the autochthonous Moors. How about that? If y'all don't know what I'm talking about, you have to go back and watch the other videos. We're talking about Genesis chapter 2, verse 7. The autochthonous Moors are to be distinguished from the family of the orangutan lady and gentlemen. The family of Moors are to be distinguished from the hybrid Europeans who have lately, Johnny come lately, who are not ancient. They are the created, the genetically engineered, created creature, the kind of man that's memorialized in Genesis chapter 1. The Amorphodite. Who have lately come to see their cousins, the dandies in Piccadilly, by the felicity of having a heel. Listen, y'all. And so I suppose. And so I suppose a soul. S-O-U-L. So the author is saying here that the hybrid European, the hybrid troglodyte nigger, the Paleolithic caveman, the Neanderthal, the half man, half chimpanzee, etc. Okay, the genetic, the Yakub story, whatever you want to call it. He says, who have lately. Okay, this speech was given, this lecture was given in 1831. In 1831. Who have lately come to see their cousins. Now, who are their cousins? Let's do it again. Let's do it again. The autochthonous Moors are to be distinguished from the family of orangutan, ladies and gentlemen. The autochthonous Moors are to be distinguished from the hybrids, who have lately come to see their cousins, the dandies in Piccadilly, by the facility of having a heel. And so, I suppose, a soul, S-O-U-L, where does the notion of soul come from? S-O-U-L. Darrell-El writes, in ancient thought, you have an inner sun in the earth, two suns. Where does this notion of S-O-U-L come from? The Catholic Church made it up, y'all. Yeah. Not only did they make it up, but they monetized it. And then they infused it with fear. Yes, they monetized it and infused it with fear. What did they make it up from? Darrell-El writes, soul, S-O-L, and the soul, S-O-U-L, the two sons. Absolutely, absolutely. So here's what it is, y'all. Here's what it is. The S-U-N, son, is, in Latin, the S-O-L, soul. So the Catholic Church took the Latin soul and slapped a U after the O. And now they said that you have a soul inside your fleshly body. But the truth is, is that just as there is a S-U-N sun, an orb, a disk in the sky that provides heat, radiant heat energy that facilitates life on planet Earth, you have that same power source in you. For example, you can say a battery. For example, you have a battery. You have a power source in you. You have a SOL in you that provides you with what? Radiant energy that provides heat and warmth, that facilitates metabolism, that facilitates animation. So you can walk, you can jump, you can talk, you can think. You're not frozen like a rock. For example, if the fleshly body expires, it becomes hard, cold. So they took that concept, that concept of you having a battery pack inside of you, a miniature sun, the disk in the sky, a miniature one in you, SOL, and they threw a U on it and then changed the definition of it. Darrell-El writes, like you always say, the remix. Absolutely, this is the remix. And then they said that this power pack is no longer a power pack. But now this SOL remixed into SOUL is eternal and survives death. And we'll go to hell, HELL, which is fire, which is the SUN sun, right? The ancient Phoenician Hebrew word, or the ancient Phoenician word, whichever way you want to say it, Heli, H-E-L-Y. The ancient Greek word, O-helios, O-H-E-L-I-O-S. You go to hell. You got two options. So the priestcraft says, well, I'm going to tell you what we can do. You can give me gold and silver, whatever land you might have. You can join the army and go fight the infidel. Who are the infidels? The infidels are the Moors. The infidels are the autochthonous Moors who don't want to hear nothing about any religion, who study science, who live in harmony with nature, who are responsible for building all of the megalithic structures, who are responsible for all of the sciences that we know today. Join the war, join the army, go slaughter them, take everything they got. And if you do that, if you do that, a lot of dirty Moors did this too. If you do that, then we're going to talk to God. And whatever sins you did in the past, God's going to forgive you. Why? Because the priests gave themselves power above God. Let me show you. What did they do, y'all? Does anyone remember what these dirty dogs did? What doctrine did they come up with? Anybody remember the doctrine that they came up with? Darrell-El writes, holy backwards is yellow. Man, I never thought about that. But y'all remember what these dirty dogs did? Y'all remember the verses about the Holy Spirit? Whoever sins against the Holy Spirit, there's no forgiveness at all. Y'all remember that? Right? So they got you running, playing hide and go seek, trying to figure out what that mystery means. Well, what is sinning against the Holy Spirit? Got you sweating bullets. Right? Y'all know it's true. But then what do they say? Christ gave them the power to what? Christ gave them the power to forgive sins and to not forgive sins. Y'all remember that? Isn't that what the verse says? Right? Isn't that what the verse says, y'all? Christ gave them the power to forgive sins and to not forgive sins. The clergy said that. So now the clergy monetized that power. Yeah, we got the power to not forgive your sins or to forgive your sins. So if you want your sins forgiven, give us whatever land you have. Give us whatever gold and silver you have. Whatever you got of value, give it to us. Go join the army. Fight for the Christ. And if you should perish in the war, guess what? You're going to heaven. Okay, y'all? So I'm trying to find the verse so I can show y'all. Does everyone follow what's happening here? Does everyone see? Does everyone see what's happening here? Yes or no? Hold on, y'all. Give me 1 second. Let me browse through this. Well, I'm sure everybody is familiar with those verses, right? Whatever you bind. How does that verse go? It slips my mind at the moment. Darrell writes, yes. Oh, okay, thanks, Darrell. I appreciate the feedback. So this notion of a S-O-U-L, soul, is created by the Catholic Church to exert power over the masses of people, to terrorize them into paying the Catholic Church to talk to God, to get them forgiveness so that they won't have to go burn in hell after death, so that their mother won't have to go burn in hell after death. Y'all see what I mean? Because she had to give it up to the Lord of the land, who, whenever he came to town, he wanted to sleep with your mama. And there was nothing she could do, because what? He was the Lord of the land. And that was the way they got down over there in Britain, over there in the UK. Even if she was bequeathed to a man, that Lord had first dibs on sexual contact with her. Darrell writes, you forgot one hail. Okay, hail, H-I, oh yeah, Hail Mary, absolutely. Hail Mary. You're right. You're right, thanks for that. Okay, y'all, the spelling is different, but the pronunciation is the same. Okay, pronunciation is the same. Am I? Spelling is different, but the pronunciation is the same. Okay, guys? Remember, vowels are interchangeable, and consonants can be doubled and reduced from 2 to 1. Consonants can also be replaced. So you can use K, CH, or C. Okay, y'all? These are the tricks that they play. Okay? Okay. But anyway, so what is the fact? So the fact is this. The fact is this, that we are thought made manifest from the soil on the earth plane. So we are all knowledge, all awareness, all consciousness. We are all that there ever was, all that there ever will be, and all that there is. We are thought. We are consciousness. Y'all got that? That's what we are. And that consciousness is energy. Everything. Cafe with honey. Cafe with honey. Where's the other guy? Cafe with honey. So everything is vibration. So those on the physical earth plane, we are vibrating at a slower rate. But the faster the rate, the more glorious the life form. All right, cafe, black cafe with honey. Like before, honey. Yeah, again. One more. Okay, yo? So the slower vibration is for us on the earth plane. But as that vibration increases, the glory, the intellect of those life forms increase. Okay? So we are consciousness, energy. Energy cannot be created or destroyed according to the laws of thermodynamics. Energy can only what? Change form. So when this fleshly body expires, our consciousness, which is that power pack we talked about, that SOL, it continues. Because remember, look at the law. And we talked about the Hermetic law of vibration briefly, only briefly. There's a lot more to it, but only briefly just now. Everything is vibrating at different rates. Okay? Now, the Hermetic law of gender. The masculine gender and the feminine gender. So who we really are is the masculine gender, and it has nothing to do with sex. Not about a penis or a vagina. It's just about different types of energy. So for example, negative and positive. That's all it is. It's not male, female, even though that's animals. Masculine, feminine. It has nothing to do with sex organs. So the masculine energy, the masculine gender energy exists outside of the fleshly body. The feminine gender or mental gender energy exists within the physical body, and it is likened to the subconscious mind. So when the masculine mental energy, being strong, exerts its will, it's taken up by the feminine mental energy and acted upon. The feminine mental energy manifests or creates. This is the Holy Spirit in you. This is God in you. But the Holy Spirit, because it's always creating, is always changing, always becoming. That's me. Me is a snapshot in time. Me. Today I like spaghetti. Tomorrow I don't like spaghetti anymore. Today I like red wine. Tomorrow I don't like red wine. I prefer white wine. Me is always changing. Right? I was a baby. I couldn't walk. Then I began crawling. Then I began walking. Then I became a man. Y'all see? Me is always changing. Me is learning. That's the feminine mental energy. The masculine mental energy is outside of your body. Science has proven this. The masculine mental energy does not change. It does not change. Not subject to birth, not subject to death, always was, always will be, and is. And in fact, is all there is. The now, the great I am, the great I am, the great I be. And the first thing we recognize when we become conscious as we develop is what? I am. Hey, I like that. I want this, I want that. Darrell-El writes, information. Absolutely. So y'all see? So this is actually the energy that survives physical death. That's what survives physical death. But they lied to you and covered that up. And they replaced it with this notion of a SOUL, which they were able to monetize and use it to exert power and control over your life. Y'all heard? So, thank you. So now let's go back. Let's go back. Yeah, thanks. There you go. So let's go back to Philip's daughter climbing over the wall with her heels up in the air. Showing all her business. Now, if her heels are up in the air, you know her legs wasn't closed, right? If her heels are up in the air, her legs are open. She's tumbling over the wall, so her legs got to be. Y'all see the imagery? See the image? Virgin, according to what they want you to think it means. Everybody see that? Shoot, hold on, y'all. Hold on. Dang it, I'm having problems here. I almost dropped my spoon. Hold on. Well, I hope y'all are enjoying this because I'm really having a good time. You know, sometimes you wonder, have y'all ever wondered if you're the only one having fun? But it's nice when you get to the point where you don't give a damn if you are, right? Am I? Hold on. Okay. I don't know if they think I'm a nuisance already, but all right, camera. Can you take that? Thanks. Thank you. All right, y'all. So let's go back to it. Philip's daughter with her legs, with her heels. Can y'all imagine? And he running after her trying to save her virginity. What an image. Radical's right. Is that called insanity? I suffer from that also. Right. So y'all, let's go back to this. Good to see you, radicals. Good to see you. Darrell-El writes, Vesica Pica showing. Absolutely. Absolutely. And it's quite interesting, right? Because Christians project this sexual morality image, but they're anything but that. When you start to examining their symbolisms and all of this stuff, it ain't nothing but sex, alcohol, orgies. Right? I think we've shown that enough in the devil's pulpit. Why is that? Well, because they're only they just plagiarize copyrights that existed before them. That's all they did. And not only that, but they took things that were pure, and religified them, meaning that they made them dirty with sex and drugs. Because that's the state of mind of the hybrid troglodyte nigger. As the author says here, the family of the orangutan, ladies and gentlemen. The family of the orangutan, ladies and gentlemen, who lately come to see their cousins. Oh, that was the point I wanted to make. Who lately come to see, well, who are their cousins, y'all? Now, you'll hear the Pan-African people say that the hybrid troglodyte nigger, thank you, are our sons and daughters. But here the author is referring to them as our cousins. Yeah, because your aunt, our aunt, the egg of our aunt. Or let me not say that because maybe it was let me get the give me maybe the technique that was used was fusing these two chimera, or maybe that was the technique. Maybe it was not a singular egg. Maybe it was not one Moabite woman egg. Maybe it was already a fertilized egg, and that fertilized with an embryo. Maybe it was XX fused with XY from the chimpanzee. Y'all see? So maybe it was not one egg and one sperm. The egg of a Moabite woman and the sperm of a chimpanzee. And that sperm, its genetic material dumped into the Moabitess egg. Maybe it didn't happen that way. Maybe it was an embryo of a little girl, Moabite little girl. Chimera fused with a male chimpanzee embryo, fused together to produce a hermaphrodite. I don't know. I wasn't there. But the author, because of this, is calling the orangutan family, or the hybrid troglodyte niggers, the paleoliths, he's calling them our cousins. Because of that, right? But it doesn't matter. Just a small point. I wanted to bring it out. Okay? And saying that they now have a what? Saying that they now have a what? A soul. A S-O-U-L. Y'all got that? They endowed the hybrid with a soul. S-O-U-L. But it's not real in nature. Put a 1 in the comment section, please, if y'all understand Radical's right. Tiamat. Maybe. I don't know. Radicals, I haven't thought about that. I haven't thought about that. Can you write more about that, Radicals? Whatever you might want to put in the comment section. I know it's kind of hard to write in the comment section, because of the limited amount of words you can put there. But does everyone see that? So now you have the Genesis chapter 1, genetically engineered creature being endowed, not endowed, what I want to say, gifted by the Catholic Church with a S-O-U-L soul. Do y'all see that? So I don't know what you all think. A lot of people think that the hybrid, once their physical life ends on the earth plane, it's finished for them. They're not eternal. Why? Because they are genetically engineered. So in other words, they're not supposed to be here in the first place, right? So due to that, the Catholic Church gave them an S-O-U-L soul and says that it survives death so that they can have hope. Y'all see what I'm saying? But let me know if I'm communicating clearly. If I am, put a 1 in the comment section. Give me some feedback. All right, now let's go back. Let's go back. Where are we? Page 300 and okay, so yes, page 314. We're back there. Middle of the paragraph, at the middle paragraph, halfway down the page, we'll begin right after Genesis XLIX.22. And here is Mrs. Phillips, the virgin, tumbling over the wall, heels, H-E-E-L-S, upwards. Actually, I'm wondering if this is the sun changing direction at December 25th and springing northward, ascending upward. Well, let's see. And heels upward, and her father running after her, as if endeavoring to keep her a virgin. But how he succeeds in that endeavor, you may guess, when you shall observe that the moment he gets over the wall, so the father also jumps over the wall, Hold on, y'all. I got to change. I can't see. Let me see. Am I still in the picture? All right. Hold on. But how he succeeds in that endeavor, you may guess when you shall observe that the moment that he gets over the wall, if you look over to the other side, you will see that Mrs. Phillips is brought to bed of twins, I don't know what that means. Of course, twins would be Gemini, right? So is he talking about the position? So the position of Sagittarius, the sun springing northward at December 25th, and the location of Gemini, you will see that Mrs. Phillips is brought to bed of twins. What does brought to bed of twins mean? Let me read the comment. Radicals right. 1. Troglodyte, lacking in copper, gold, melanin. Earth, according to cuneiform tablets, similar to Zechariah Stinson writing. Oh, okay. Darrell-El writes, Miss Phillips, the horse. Oh, absolutely. Okay, I got you. All right. Oh, the horse jumped over the wall. Let's see if we can make this out, y'all, because I don't get what we will see that Miss Phillips is brought to bed of twins. What does it mean, brought to bed? This is 1831. So I don't know what this phrase, brought to bed of twins, means. You will see that that Miss Phillips, notice it's Miss, M-I-S-S, is brought to bed. Hold on. Ah, I got it. So the father, so his daughter jumps over the wall, tumbles over the wall with her legs spread eagle, heels up in the air. Her father's chasing her so that she won't lose her virginity. Some dude, right, see it and start knocking boots. But by the time he gets over the wall, she's already pregnant and in bed about to give birth to twins. I think this is what it means. But I'm not sure. That Miss Phillips, I think, is his daughter. But let's continue, y'all. Next paragraph. Could imagination conceive a more beautiful personification of the genius of Bethsaida? This is the city of the hunter, right? Let me get the exact definition again. Oh, house of the hunter. Bethsaida, literally house of the hunter, or according to our ancient ancestors, the Sabian Moors, in the Phoenician tongue, in the Phoenician Hebrew tongue, the Ancient Ibaryath, the word Bethsaida means the house, station, temple, or constellation of the hunter. Okay, and then that goes back into, remember y'all, the temple of the gods Berit, who are Beth, Baal, and Berit. Okay, so now let's go back to it. So could imagination conceive a more beautiful personification of the genius of Bethsaida than that which immediately follows this of his runaway daughter, quote unquote? The archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him. But his bow abounded in strength, and the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands of the mighty God of Jacob. As see ye, sirs, all the bright and strongly marked stars of this constellation are immediately in the bow, and in the arms and hands of the figure. So the author just told us that the brightest stars in Sagittarius are in the bow and in the arms. Darrell-El writes, brought to bed is ancient idiom for giving birth. Okay, so there we have it. So Daddy was too late. Daddy was too late. By the time he got over the wall, she was already knocked up. Giving birth to twins. This author is funny. He is quite funny. Thanks, Darrell-El. Quite funny. You know, it's fun. I'm having a good time figuring this stuff out as we go through this, scholars. Okay, so as see ye, sirs, all the bright and strongly marked stars of this constellation, that's Sagittarius, are immediately in the bow, and in the arms and hands of the figure or of the constellation Sagittarius, which is why it says here, the archers have sorely grieved him and shot at him and hated him, but his bow abode in strength. Okay, the glorious, brightly shining stars in the bow and in his arms. Okay? And the arms of his hands were made strong by the hands mighty God of Jacob. Okay, let me check out Darrell-El's comments here. Darrell-El writes, is this possibly incest? Name a car. Name a car. Man, oh man. Hey, Darrell-El, the Hebrew Israelites better be careful. They might hate you, bro. A lot of people believe that the scriptures are the unadulterated word of God. But don't worry, I think the comments will not stay. After the live stream, the comments are they are gonna be removed. I don't remove them, but I noticed that the comments in a lot of my videos they don't remain. Am I? But I'm sure you're not worried about what they think. I'm just joking around with you. Yeah. So here, y'all, in this coffee shop, if you break a glass, they make you pay for it. All right. So I had them remove all the glasses off of my table. All right. Okay, so let's continue with this. What could be a more graphically, let me repeat that. What could be more graphically precise unless it be further definition? Okay, so he's going to give us more data. Let's check it out. Page 315. The blessings of the everlasting hills, Hills. Now y'all remember, that means sun, right? HELL, LLHOLE, etc. Y'all remember we went through that? But anyway, that's just a small point. The blessings of the everlasting hills shall be on the head of Joseph, and on the crown of him that was separated from his brethren. That's Genesis XLIX.26. It was when the everlasting hills, which you see here immediately over the fruitful scales of September, are come to the meridian that Sagittarius is seen rising southeast by east. So again, it is when the everlasting hills, which you see here, immediately over the fruitful scales of September. Okay, scales of September means Libra. Okay, so the kingdom of heaven, the royal ark. All right, those constellations of the summer months, spring, summer, and fall. So so spring equinox, summer solstice, autumn equinox. All these constellations, the royal ark, the kingdom of heaven. Y'all see it? And then here, I believe it's September 21, 22. This is Libra. This is Libra, okay, y'all? The scales of justice, all right? So talking about the positioning of the stars. So that's why he says, what could be more graphically precise unless it be further definition? So he's giving us the positions of the constellations. Sagittarius is the only one of the signs that literally is separated from his brethren by falling so much below the Tropic of Capricorn. I think it's, hold on, I remember, let me see which part. I don't remember if it's head, if it's his head that is above the Tropic of Capricorn, or was it below? Let's go through this. We'll check it out later. But Sagittarius is separated from his brothers. Okay, that's what he's saying. Sagittarius is the only one of the signs that is literally separated from his brethren by falling so much below the Tropic of Capricorn. So that's 23.5 degrees south, scholars. Darrell-El writes, do you know the Egyptians only counted spring, summer, and winter? No, I didn't know that. What year? At what year was that? Is that most ancient times? Because I've only read that the orientation in astrology is the northern hemisphere, because there are 4 clearly defined seasons. The Dendra calendar. Can you send it to me, Darrell, when you get time? Could you email that to me, please? What's the date of the Dendra calendar? Darrell-El writes, we'll have to find it. Okay, whenever you get time, if you get time and you remember, send it to me. I'll try to Google search it. Is it easy to find if I Google search it? Is it available? Okay, y'all. Okay, y'all. So Capricorn, the southern part of space. Y'all know that Capricorn, that's deep winter. Darrell-El, right? Should be in Google Books. Okay, cool. Thank you. Capricorn, deep winter, hell, the bottomless pit. Okay, corporations. corporations. Capricorn is the hybrid goat and fish. Now next paragraph. Joseph is the only one of the patriarchs that was ever spoken of as standing in any relation to a crown. So of course, this is talking about the constellation. There are two corona crowns. And the Sagittarius is the only one of the signs of the Zodiac in the same predicament, standing, as you see, in immediate contact with the crown of the south. Y'all see that? Going back to what the author said, but it is only by laborious effort of painful stupidity that we can fail of identifying Joseph of the Patriarchate, the Phillip of the Apostolate, and the Sagittarius of the Zodiac. So he's giving us the evidence, okay? And having that evidence, it becomes very clear. You cannot fail to see that Joseph and Phillip are Sagittarius. All right? So let's continue. He writes here, and Sagittarius, the only one of the signs of the Zodiac. Oh, I already read that. So next paragraph. No. Sorry, y'all. I got to do the paragraph again. Joseph is the only one of the patriarchs that was ever spoken of as standing in any relation to a crown. And the Sagittarius is the only one of the signs of the Zodiac in the same predicament, standing, as you see, in immediate contact with the crown in the south. So the crown is the constellation, right? Thus, not more accurately drawn on the celestial globe than in your divine revelation, chapter 5, verse 2, quote unquote, behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow, and a crown was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. So the horse represents the cardinal point, and then of course the man on the horse is separate from the cardinal point. But the point is that this is Sagittarius. So the Phillip of the Zodiac rides down to Gaza. Remember Gaza, which is a desert, and in this case it's what? Winter. So it's the desolateness of winter. Not a sandy desert, but a frozen desert. Okay? So the Phillip of the Gospel remunerates, remonstrates rather, quote unquote, show us the Father, and it is sufficient for us, that is, or which means, show us a mere sight of the SUN sun will do for November. Okay? November is that adverse sign. What's the adverse sign? The adverse sign is that, well, just a couple more days more, you'll be in December, which is deep winter. So just let me see a little bit of the sun, and that'll be sufficient for me. Okay, y'all? Okay, all right. Everybody? Okay. And so the frosty Nimrod of the year reigns. Remember, Nimrod was a mighty hunter. Right? Nimrod is a mighty hunter. Remember who Nimrod is? Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. Okay, so here we are, page 310. Let's make the connections. Let me refresh your memory. Bethsaida, literally, the house of the hunter. Here then, we have the whole enucleation of then we have the Greek expression. Philip of Bethsaida is identified with the lover of the horseman, or half man and half horse, in the house or mansion of the hunter, which is in the place of the Sagittarius of the Zodiac, and is the city of Andrew and Peter. The Phillip of the New Testament being none other than the Nimrod of the Old Testament. Quote unquote, Cash begat Nimrod. He began to be a mighty hunter in the earth, that is, or which means among the constellations which fall below the equator. So these are the wintertime constellations when the nighttime dominates, which are called of the earth, or earthy, as distinguished from the constellations of the northern hemisphere, which are called heavenly. And as Nimrod is distinguished in the Genesis as he who, quote unquote, began to be a mighty one, so Philip, the hunter of the gospel fable, has the honor of being the first called to be a disciple of Christ. Quote unquote, he was a mighty hunter before the Lord, wherefore it is said, quote unquote, even as Nimrod, the mighty hunter before the Lord. So let's go back to the text. Page 315. Thus, not more accurately drawn on the celestial globe than in your divine revelation, in Revelation 4, verse 2. Behold, a white horse, and he that sat on him had a bow and a crown, Sagittarius, and the constellation Corona, the crown, was given unto him, and he went forth conquering and to conquer. Remember, the brightest stars are in his bow and in his arm. So the Phillip of the Zodiac rides down to Gaza, which is desert, which is a winter desert. So the Phillip of the Gospels remonstrates, quote unquote, show us the Father, and it is sufficient for us. That is, a mere sight of the sun will do for November. And so the frosty Nimrod of the year reigns as a king over conquered vegetation. Ain't got nothing to do with Esau. Ain't got nothing to do with any nation being conquered. What's conquered? Vegetation. How is it conquered? It is frozen. And the land becomes Gaza. The land becomes a desolate, frozen waste. Yet, the dying Israel adds, from thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. That's a quote. Words which defy all faculty of interpretation in any other sense. Absolutely. What does that mean? Quote unquote. From thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel. What in the world does that mean? Words which defy all faculty of interpretation in any other sense. But clear as the day in this truly magnificent science, Peter is the stone to whom Christ commits the care of his sheep, and see ye, sirs, it is the coming of Sagittarius to the meridian that causes the stone, the shepherd of Israel, to rise east, north, east, or E-N-E-N, east, northeast in the horizon. And Sagittarius setting southwest and west brings Peter to the meridian, so that from the positions of the one we find the other. And quote, from thence is the stone, the shepherd of Israel. That's the only way that makes sense. Just talking about the position of the constellations and their movement. Okay, y'all, is that clear? But what it would be, we'd be much better off, y'all, if we had a image of this. If I had an image, I could just show y'all and point to it. So if y'all want that, you can donate on my Patreon. The link is in the description area of this video. Patreon.com/Zion Law School, something like that. It's in the description area of the video. Or paypal.me/Zion Law School. That link is also in the description area of the video. Okay, I think you can donate on my website, on our website, zionlawschool.org also. And if y'all want that, you can donate, put it in the notes or whatever, and I'll go here and I'll get an artist to create these images. We really should have these images so we could see it. But other than that, this quote, from thence is the shepherd, the stone of Israel, it don't make sense. But it's talking about the movement of the constellations in relation to one another. Okay, as the sun goes through its annual journey through the Maserat, the Zodiac. All right? This is all we are forced to believe of Phillip, because it is contained in that part of ecclesiastical fiction that is called sacred. There is but one further notice of Phillip in that part of ecclesiastical fiction, which, not being forced down our throats, is not sacred. We are instructed by the bishops of the Church of England in the Bishop's book, Nelson's Festivals. So that's a book worth seeing if we can get. Nelson's Festivals, y'all. Nelson's Festivals. On page 202, that Phillip, quote, in the latter end of his life, end quote, that is, I dare say, when it was getting towards November with him. November Sagittarius, right? Quote unquote. November is the end of the summer months, right? It's that adverse sign that we're about to go right smack into the middle of deep winter. Okay, you're no longer in the kingdom of the heavens. Okay, so the end of his life, that is, I dare say, when it was getting towards November with him, quote unquote, quote, came to Hierapolis, that is, the sacred city again, quote, and found that sacred city, end quote, very much addicted to idolatry. Hold on, y'all, I need to check my battery. All right, hold on. Wait 1 second. Whew. All right. Let me make a note. Y'all all right? So radicals, this is, I know you asked about etymology, but this is the Bishop's book, Nelson's Festival. You might want to see if you can get that. It's a Church of England book. Let me make a note. All right, so we are on page 316, which is the last page of the lecture of St. Philip. I can't believe we are almost finished with this, y'all. How many more lectures do we have? Well, you know what, let me stay focused. Page 316. Radicals will do. Thank you. My pleasure. Let's see. Why, yes, sirs, look ye here. If that sacred city isn't addicted to idolatry, worshiping lambs and rams and bulls and goats and lions and crabs and lobsters and mackerels. By the way, y'all, what do y'all think about this? Tell me what you think. Now, I know that our ancient ancestors never was involved in any type of religious practices where we were sacrificing bulls and goats. I wouldn't do it for many reasons, especially the techniques that are claimed to have been used that we went over in this book, The Devil's Pulpit. So what if these rams and bulls was not a fleshly animal at all, but the constellation Aries and the constellation Taurus? And what if these sacrifices were purely metaphorical, having to do with lower self thinking and behavior, sacrificing them on the altar, and then resurrecting ourselves in terms of our thinking, behavior, and our character, resurrecting ourselves, transmuting ourselves from being a devil and a Satan, transmuting up to the Christ, and living and being the Christ, the higher self, polarizing ourselves, our thinking and behavior in the Christ, the summer solstice position. What if that's what those sacrifices are or were? Y'all see the significance of what this means? It means nationalization. It means living in harmony with the Most High's laws, living in harmony with nature, following the Most High's commandments. Stop being a devil and a Satan, a deceiver and a liar. Stop being evil. Stop being stupid. Stop being unaware. Learn. Study who? Study what? Study yourself. That's what Noble Drew Ali told us, the Prophet Noble Drew Ali. That's what he said. Study yourself, and when you get finished, study yourself some more. Why? Why? Because you are the universe. You are the universe. You are thought made manifest from the soil. You're the substance and subject matter of the law. You are thought. What's the first Hermetic law? All is mind. All is mind. Thought is mind. So when you study yourself and you realize that you are thought, that you are mind, that you are everything that there ever was, that there ever will be, and that there is now. Radical writes, interesting concepts. This is nature. This is nature. So this is why you are thought made manifest. This is why whatever you say can and will be used against you, because you are God. And when you speak, God has spoken. And if your words are corrupt, the laws are not suspended. There's a law of cause and effect. And we're obligated by contract to live in harmony with nature, to follow the Most High's commandments. And when you don't do that, nature will punish you, to correct you, to put you back on track. Nature will communicate with you. These are signals, signs, telling you you have to adjust, change. You're out of harmony with nature. Y'all see it? Okay? So where are we? Okay, so page 316. But says the bishop's book, the Hierapolites were in those days more particularly addicted to the worship of a serpent or dragon. That's a constellation, y'all, right? The dragon, the serpent, of quote unquote a prodigious bigness. I think it covers 1/3 of the constellations. Saint Philip, by his prayers, procured the death, or at least the vanishing, and in parentheses we have, those are the very words of our bishops. So Saint Philip rather, by his prayers, procured the death, or at least the vanishing. Those are the very words of our bishops of this famous serpent. Wow. Saint Philip procured the vanishing of this famous serpent. So Saint Peter is responsible for the famous serpent vanishing, disappearing. But here is Philip and the prodigiously big serpent too. So here is Sagittarius and the constellation, the serpent. They're right next to each other. This is what the author is showing us. And Philip, as you see, levels his bow and arrow at the serpent's tail. So so the serpent is in front of Philip. It appears, right? So he's going to shoot at his tail. And by coming to the zenith, that's the highest point, literally causes the serpent, who is Hydra. The serpent is the constellation Hydra, which reaches nearly 1/3 part of the length of the holy city, to vanish out at the Hierapolis. Y'all got that? I think that's pretty clear. So Radical's right. So Satan could then represent our ego, and we would rise above that lower self symbolized by the constellation. Absolutely. 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 But remember, Satan, in the way that you're using it, that's from the religious dogma point of view. So there is a astrological Satan and a religious dogma Satan. Okay, so let's continue. So did everybody get that? So again, let me read the paragraph again. Let me check my battery. Okay, I got to bounce in a minute. But here is Philip and the prodigiously big serpent too. And Philip, as you see, levels his bow and arrow at the serpent's tail. And by coming to the zenith, so it's moving, right? The constellations are moving, of course, literally causes the serpent Hydra, which reaches nearly 1/3 part of the length of the holy city, to vanish out of Hierapolis. So Hierapolis is the holy city, right? Okay. In fact, let me see if I can show y'all that. We just read it somewhere. But it's in here. It's all throughout the Devil's Pulpit. So it is the holy city, okay? So the serpent covers the 1/3 part of the holy city. And what did Hierapolis do to Philip for attacking their God? There must have been some society for the suppression of vice in the city of Hierapolis, to put down the fellow that was riding the high horse against the established religion of the country. Why, the bishops gravely tell us that, quote, the magistrates, being provoked by the success Christianity had among the people, put St. Philip into prison. Why then? What but solemn thieves, religious thieves, publicly declaring themselves holy, and consecrated swindlers were they who called in the power of the law to defend their religion, not nation, not empire, when it could not be defended with argument. In other words, it's all a fairy tale, it's all astrotheology, they all made the stuff up. So they couldn't defend that, so what do they want to do? They want to go throw you in prison. Okay, they couldn't defend it with argument and put the man into prison for ridiculing their folly, for exposing their lies, for exposing their psychopathy, their greed and quest for power, and showing them what a system of idiotish ignorance and priestly imposture this established religion was and still remains today, a hustle. So Philip suffered martyrdom in the Hierapolis, where he was, and the bishops would have us to believe, quote unquote, hung up by the neck against a pillar, end quote. Now, ye know a man cannot be hung against a pillar. Absolutely. Here's a pillar. How are you going to hang him against a pillar? Think. You cannot hang a man against a pillar. This is against. Listen to the words. Ye know a man cannot be hanged against a pillar. He can only be hanged upon a pillar or near it, or by the side of it, or from some beam, or anything else traverse or forming an angle with the pillar. Everybody see that? But see now how bishops invent gospel. See how they invent gospel with this pen? See that? I wonder how many of them were sitting around drinking and drunk when they wrote the insertions that they wrote into the Gospels. How many of them were drunk, just finished the orgy, when they wrote lies into the book of the law, when they penned the New Testament, when they didn't pen it, they what? They translated it, and then they continued editing it. How many of them were drunk, just finished an orgy, just finished doing some other things that you Christians and Hebrew Israelites say are blasphemy? And here they are writing your holy text, which you think is the absolute, unadulterated word of God. And this is why they call you an idiot. But see now how bishops invent gospel. Here actually is the pillar, the great solstitial color passing immediately before the nose of St. Philip. And here is St. Philip hanging by the neck in the Zodiac. All the rest of his body being below the Zodiac and immediately against the pillar. He says solstitial. That's the solstitial line. Winter solstice and summer solstice. Sagittarius is here. Right? Okay, y'all? All the rest of his body being below the Zodiac and immediately against this pillar, the solstitial line. Summer solstice, winter solstice. Okay? Sagittarius is here. Immediately against the solstitial line, the pillar. So then, gentlemen, I believe I have nothing left unexplained out of this bit of ecclesiastical horsemanship. Islam to all the Moors. I'm Dr. Yasapa from Zion Law School. Thanks for spending your time with me. I appreciate it. I had fun today. I hope y'all had as much fun as I do. Thanks everyone for supporting my project to write the Book of the Law in modern English and Ancient Ibaryath, to restore the astrology/astronomy, to restore the Hermetic laws and natural phenomena, and of course constitutional principles that are in the Book of the Law but that have been hid and buried up underneath the English, and to remove all of the Jeremiah 8 occurrences, which is the deception and errors, intentional and unintentional. All right, so thanks y'all. Y'all can continue to support that project. You can make donations on my Patreon. Link is in the description area of this video. PayPal, the link is in the description area of the video. Also on our website, zionlawschool.org. Thanks to everybody who's bought my books and who will buy my books after this video or at some point. And to all of the subscribers to the 101 Ancient Ibaryath class. So thank y'all for supporting my work and sending me a message that you do value what I do. That's very important, because I'll be the first one to tell you, it's not easy to do these videos and to do it consistently, right? A lot of times, as y'all know, because y'all also busy, got your own lives, it's quite difficult to do something consistently when you have other things that you need to do in addition to the normal day-to-day stuff in your life. So thanks for your support. I really appreciate that. Everybody's welcome to come on Saturday to my 506 The Curses course, which is a Zoom course, okay, where I go over the Book of the Law. Specifically, we're in Deuteronomy chapter 28. We do the etymology, the grammar rules, the philology, word morphology, all of that, so that you can see everything that I just said. You'll see it in those classes. Islam to all the Moors, and Shalom.